Hello everyone, how are we doing? Sorry, I was just messing with the OBS there. We're trying something slightly different this week on the stream with how we're capturing it, so a couple of little things there. Oh, looks like it's just pulled over. Just bear with me, I'm not sure what's happened there. There we are, we're back again. So, yeah, so this week we're heading over to COTA. It looks like it's going to be wet. So we know what it's like with track limits at the best of times over here. So I imagine drive-throughs are going to play its role today. So yeah, looking forward to a good race. Should be a good one. Me and Colm, Horsebox Streams, are back in co-commentating again today. So thanks for jumping along, and yeah, I'll head over there now.
Main. It's not overly heavy, and the practice server definitely has been heavier, so it'll be interesting to see how that does play out as we get on. And Oliver, great rating music. It was a great idea, Roy. I forgot all about it. I think every week I'll do a Lonely Island intro. I'll probably get copyrighted for it, but sure, why not? It's a bit of crack. Hopefully I don't get to life as well that we do.
Right, yeah, just trying to sort the sound out again. So we've had a few.
Right, yeah, just trying to sort the sound out again. So we've had a few. Right, yeah, just trying to sort the
few
sound
issues.
out again.
Oh,
So
they're coming through a couple of times, so you can hear. So I'm just trying to capture, Discord it.
So I'm just trying to capture, Discord it.
How we doing, mate? I am here myself. Just had a few issues with it picking up Discord today for some reason on the chat on the sound. Well, what's happening when it's playing the sound when I'm capturing it? It's making that echoey sound.
What's happening when it's playing the sound when I'm capturing it? It's making that echoey sound.
Yeah, so I just need to just filter that out now and see if I can just get on top of that before we get into the mainstream. Yeah, track limits are a major issue around COTA. I think we all found that, and I think what we're finding now as well, especially, is in the rain. I'm finding ACC's is getting even worse. So it is what it is. There's not much people can do about it. So we'll crack on with it, and hopefully everyone sort of manages their way through it. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't want to pick you up. That's all. So I got. Let's say, well, I had the opposite issue the other day, didn't I? If you remember, where I was picking everyone up when I don't want to, so I got the opposite issue where it's not picking you up when I want to. That sound, mate. Well, welcome to the live. So I'm one.
2.
Yep, I'm hoping that might do it.
I'd say it should. Let me up that in. Grand job. I have a tiny little wireless mouse that I like to use when I'm doing comms because there's much less of a click out of it than there is out of my Microsoft mouse.
Right, I think I'm just gonna mute everything while I'm checking the sound now.
Yeah. Do what you need to do. But looking over this here, let me have a look of what's going on. Beautiful looking machine. So we'll go through all the guys' liveries while we're here as well.
So yeah, not sure what's going on there. We'll try and get on top of the sound options. So yeah, not sure what's going on there. We'll try and get on top of the sound options. See if we can get this sorted. That one doesn't seem to sound right. That's not giving out any sound. I do not know what's going on here. That's not giving out any sound. I do not know what's going on here. See. Might have to put it down to a lost cause today otherwise. Might have to put it down to a lost cause today otherwise. Might have to put it down to a lost cause. Yeah, you can hear me just trying to sort it out, see if I can pick it up. Right, properties. Right, so that's one part I think we're sorted. Let's try and head over onto Discord, see if we can pick that up now.
Keep saying it wrong. Oh, as he spins out. And then on with Dave Hill. Dave. Woo, audio jumped in there, Chris, you well?
Yeah, sorry mate, we are getting there. I think we are jumping on top of this now.
Chris, audio issues, header himself.
Oh mate, it's constant in it at the moment.
For fuck's sake. We're on with Oliver here as well now. But look, shit happens. You get on top of it, and it's always good to get the bugs out early than later. But Dave Hill has gone on pole at 2:16.475. because it's way wetter than earlier on, I'd say they'd be lucky to get near maybe the 215s might be possible, I'd say, but I think that's about it with the conditions out there. But should be interesting. Now, let's see what else is going on in the world here. Not much at the minute. So it looks like we are going to have I think this is the smallest grid we've had so far. But then again, as I say, it's not a track that many people like. So to be honest with you, it is what it is. There's going to be some great racing and good points for all of these here tonight for showing up and getting in. And Dave Hill, though, has the fastest first sector and second sector. And Polami, oh no, is Polami actually, yeah. Or Espiotto has the fastest third sector by nearly 0.25 of a second. So nearly a quarter of a second. So that's quite a significant difference. So Dave has a good bit on the table. Dave Hill, I reckon, could be going on for a sub 216 into the 215s.
Right, I think we're on top of it, mate. I think we're there. I think we have cracked it.
Okay, guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you believe, Chris?
Yeah, apologies about that. It's obviously the way we're trying to get the audio to work this week. I think we're on top of it now. I think part of the issues is obviously where I split Discord audio from when I normally race and stream.
Can I just tell the geniuses what you do? All the people out there. So Chris is streaming as well. So Chris has his own YouTube channel. He does an awful lot of content, an awful lot of racing. It's more of a racing community. He's building up as a community, which is great. But Chris has his way of doing things that's different to the normal way of things. The way I'd capture audio, Chris does the opposite. The way I'd capture even the overlays, Chris does the opposite.
But it works. When I get there.
Well. A few little technical bugs. I've run through all the bugs. That's why my experience tells me certain ways to do things.
No, it's fine. It's working and it's absolutely spot on now. Yeah, we're on top of it. But it just took a little bit of tinkering within my sound settings, within my PC to get there. But now we're there. We're sorted.
Oh no, I trust you. I'm not saying it's not going to work. I have every faith with her. But I know it's great to have you along, Chris. Our third time commentating together, and clearly you're really getting the hang of the commentating now. So tonight, as I was saying earlier on, I don't know if you hear the audio, but I was just saying it is a very small field. There's good points. COTA is just a track that it's not as loved as other tracks, but to be honest with you here, I think the patience game here tonight is going to win this one. I don't think outright pace is going to win this one because of drive-throughs.
Oh, this is going to be a nightmare tonight. I think a lot of people have turned up dreading the combination. COTA is a nightmare of a track with drive-throughs at the best of times. I think ACC, since the latest update, it's just got really harsh with the track warnings. So if you put that alongside the wet weather, it's going to be a tough one. I truly believe drive-throughs are going to have a major impact in today's result.
I think it's going to be the difference between winning the race and not winning the race, the drive-through. That's honestly what I'm putting down tonight. Like the conditions themselves, luckily enough, because it's not a huge grid, like 14 is still a decent-ish grid, but like it's not a huge grid because the guys won't have any excuse for going too mad at the first few laps. It's not as if there's 30, 40 cars there where, you know, you want position, you know, you want to be towed along and that. Here you can kind of be very patient, and especially if you're starting near the back. Turn one, I would sit right at the back because going through this sector here, people are going to go off. People are going to try going out too wide and then dropping it. Once you hit that painted stuff, Chris, you know exactly what happens. You found out Monday night.
Yeah, I mean, I had a little run out earlier just to see what it felt like, and the first sector itself was hard work. So being patient through that sector, you know, trying not to run the curbs too much. You know, people are going to have a lot of learn. This time now in qualifying, people will still be testing the waters, just seeing what they can and can't get away with.
100%. Just because I could hear Dudley in the background, we're on with Dudley now with this beautiful sound and Audi, and he's confusing me. How is he making the Audi work in the way? I just don't understand it.
Well, I don't think it's a case of the Audi doesn't work in the way, and what I mean by that, it's not uncontrollable. The issue with the Audi in the way is that the traction control seems to interfere a bit too much. And you can sometimes lose a couple of attempts compared to, let's say, a relative pace in another car. But you can still drive around it. Gary, for example, drove the Audi for season upon season in the wet, and he drove around it But there definitely is an impact with the traction control. You either come down to like traction control 5, and you really got to be careful on the throttle, so it will work. But as soon as you go to like 6 or 7, that's when it's interfering too much.
Yeah, it just dies of that. And speaking of Gary, last week's race winner, how confident are you here? I haven't seen much of his times around here, and I haven't really got to see him in the wet around here. So this, for me, it's hard to really judge who's going to be where. Although Dave Hill's been super fast, obviously all sessions long.
Gary is extremely good around COTA. I think he's won the last 2 races we've had here. However, he's in a change of car, he's in a change conditions. I would lean towards a front engine car for today's race with the weather. It would be my personal sort of like where I would look for the wind to come from.
Yeah. And Oliver Anderson sitting in P4 at the minute, he's been quite good in fairness to him.
And a good time as well. When you look at the time he's laid down, he's not too far away still, so he can still have a strong race himself.
Interesting, Stephen Glennon, jumping on with him now. He is a driver who is new. He was very unlucky in the last race, Chris. 3 pit stops because he didn't know how to turn on getting 1 litre of fuel. Once he sorted that, still ended up in P15 on his debut. I'm expecting a lot more from him tonight in terms of race, because he seemed to not do great in qualifying. He didn't qualify last, and I don't expect him to qualify last tonight, but he seems to get much better in the race. I think the more he kind of gets his eye in, he really gets into it then.
Yeah, I don't think he's lacking any driving ability, let's say. What he's lacking is experience. And I think as that experience grows, I think you're going to see here grow stronger and stronger. He will get from strength to strength. You know, the little bugs of the MFD, understanding how it works, tyre temperatures. You know, this is just, you need the experience in ACC to get a true understanding of that, and that's just going to take time, and that's something he's just going to have to get used to.
Yeah, no, I agree. Another man here, Mr. Stacey Ellis, we're jumping on with him there. This man here, although he's never the fastest, he always seems to be avoiding incidents at the start lately. If you look at his last few starts, he's really been kept away from the major incidents, and he's let everyone else around him do the work for him to get by.
Yeah, I think he has a real acceptance of where he's at in terms of his pace. And Stacey's strategy a lot of the time is, if I don't get into trouble, I can make places.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's a brilliant way to approach it. When you know you maybe not compete further up, you're like thinking, hang on a minute, if I cannot get a drive through, if I cannot spin out, if I cannot get caught in an accident, I'm going to make places because other people are going to do so.
100%. 100%. You know, to be honest with you, he's been super impressive. We're going into the last minute qualifying, so let's have a look at times. Gary's up in P6, although John Dudley's out in a lap and he's up nearly half a second, so we're going to stay on with John Dudley, as this lap will matter. So we've got Dave Hill from SBO, from Polalamy, from Dudley, from Anderson, from Smith, Holloway, Chico. Chico's only down in 8th, I'm surprised with that. Nathan Worms in 9th, Britt's in 10th, Glennon's in 11th, Baz is 12th, Stacey's 13th, and Ajay is 14th.
Yeah, it's looking pretty tight out there, isn't it? I think, if you look at some of these positions here, let's say 3rd to 4th, so Polanyi and Dudley, there's only 2 tenths in it, and then there's only 2 tenths down to Anderson. You know, it's half a tenth down to Smith, to Gary, another half a tenth down to Holloway. You know, there's some real, even with only 14 people on the track, you can still see how close it is in certain parts.
Dudley ruined his lap there.
Oh.
He invalidated it and then just dropped it. I mean, he was up half a second. That was a definite third position for him there.
Anderson looks up. He's in the green.
Yeah, we're on with Anderson right now this minute. But he's only started his lap, so that couldn't develop. We'll keep an eye as well on Britt. Oh no! He dropped it.
Pushing it too much.
We're going to jump on with Glennon. So Glennon's on a lap. He's down about a tenth and a half, but you can easily make that up in the rain. There's always time if you take a different line. So let's see, can he improve? If not for him, this is great. Just getting that bit of extra knowledge, getting that mileage in.
Great job of delivery there as well.
I'm still not 100% happy with the Ferrari one. I think it can pop better.
Do you reckon?
Oh yeah. I'm changing slightly how deliveries look with FFG, but that's for another day. I'm working a secret project that nobody knows about.
the one you just told us about.
The secret project. That nobody, you know what I look like.
That secret project no one knew about until now. to do delivery to make
Pretty
him want more.
Pretty much. I'm gonna actually move that up. Stacey was saying you sound like you're in a dungeon, so I'm after adding your volume up. You should be fine.
Okay.
Oh, do you know what it is? Chat and scene volume is different to the live scene, that's why. But that is it. That is qualifying over. Dave Hill as pole, Mark Gaspietto in second. We have Dudley, or Ricky in third, Dudley in fourth, Oliver in fifth. Oliver Anderson is doing a great job lately. Gary in sixth. Do you want to do it from seventh down?
It's also Holloway in seventh, Chico in eighth, Warren in ninth, Brits coming in at 10th, Glennon in 11th, Alpha Dogmeat, so Baz in 12th, Stacey in 13th, is it Tania in 14th, and Batek in 15th. Both the last ones haven't actually managed to set a time now.
Now, I'm going to ask you the $1 million question. We done it last week. I think we both got it wrong. Who do you think is going to be the top three? Stacey, anyone got sat nav in the game chat?
Do you know what? It's hard to look a bit beyond the front two in front engine cars.
Yeah.
Even the front three, mate. I get a feeling the front engine cars in this weather today are gonna come through.
Do you want to hear my prediction? I'm gonna go slightly different here. No, I do think Dave Hill's gonna win it, hands down. He just has the pace. That's an absolute given. I think genuinely we're going to see Dudley second and Smith or Anderson third.
My issue is that it's a great track in the dry. I just think in the wet, I think it's going to be so difficult in the mid-engine car around here that it's so unforgiving. I just think the front-engine cars may cope a bit more. And as we've seen in the last few wet races at Spa and Valencia earlier in the week, when it's wet, as soon as you go off, you just get a track warning. There's no like letting off and no time gained. It's so harsh in the wet now at ACC for track warnings. I just feel like the front engine cars may cope that a little bit better. And, when you're on the edge.
Well, I drove the McLaren around with a base setup, and you know what? It drove actually quite nice. That engineer's absolute genius. We've got wet conditions. I'm going to scroll up to the start with the drone, and I'm going to run through the cars. Or would you like to go through the cars?
Oh, however you want to do it. I'm easy.
I know you're easy. That's why your wife
only with
married
you, mate. Only with you.
Well, look, I just want to say, so Oliver Anderson put in Dam. I had a lap with 0.7 and he binned it, so he was actually up nearly just over half a second. And Aaron Holloway says Dave so winning. But speaking of Dave, on pole position is, of course, Mr. Dave Hill on this beautiful looking BMW. Then in second position, we have Marco Expiotto. That's a really nice looking Mercedes.
It's lovely.
In third position, we have Ricky Polanami. I really like the Aston around here, Chris. I really think this is going to be a good car. I didn't put him in my top three, though, but I think that's such a good car. I'm probably going to regret not putting the Aston in there because I know how good that car is around here. And this is the man I put into second position, Mr. Dudley. How much does he need a good race after last week, after that upsetting when he got the little tap?
Yeah. I mean, the thing about John is that he's going to be consistent. And maybe in the way you need to be today, that John's driving style may actually come through and see him have a good result.
100%. And on to this man, Oliver, the alcoholic. He's probably driving drunk. I'm just going to look in his face. Do you want to blow into this, please, sir? So Oliver
stand over here, please, sir. Can you walk a straight line?
Get out of that car. Oliver, honestly, I think is doing a very impressive job in fifth position, and I don't know who made that livery, but he should be shagged.
I don't know, mate. He needs to make it pop more.
Here's the owner of Amigos, Gary Smith, and he's doing a great job in fairness. Sixth position, race winner last week. We are expecting maybe a little nice surprise for him down the road. I do expect him, or who did I say? Him or Oliver, wasn't it, in the P3?
Yeah. You said Oliver, didn't you? P3.
Yeah. Him or Oliver. So either way, I've given myself a bit of extra help. Mr. Aaron Holloway, let's go around his car. He's very proud of his livery. So Aaron Holloway here, he's done really well in qualifying. He's normally a little bit further back, so I think he's going to get a bit dizzy today. So let's see how he gets on. And then we have, of course...
Did you get Chico's? Have you got Chico's livery loaded?
Chico, the hard man, doesn't know how to work out some Chico.
I got his livery loaded, and boy, it looks amazing.
Why isn't it loading up on my one? Because I did sync it. We'll move on then to Nathan Warren in the beautiful looking Bentley. He's a guy here I expect to do very, very strong. Then, of course, we have then Britt, the crazy American, the NASCAR drunken riddle man. He's going to have a great race. I do think he's going to come alive in the race. As is Steve Glennon. I think he's going to be P8 or P7. That's the fate I'm putting in him.
Is that it? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Then we have Baz O'Neill here.
I haven't got that livery. I haven't loaded it.
I don't know if he uploaded because I let him just take the files and do what he wants to do. He uploaded it for another league as well. That's a beautiful looking car. I really love the design he gave me, and he just let me do my own work with it, and it's turned out beautiful.
Okay, I need to maybe get them files then because I can't see his livery, unfortunately.
I'll send that to you. Then we have Stacey Ellis in the JPS livery that I created for him.
This is lovely, this livery. I absolutely love it. I love that livery.
So this was commissioned from Stacey to myself to do, and he just let me go to town. I had to create nearly every single decal on it and the colour and everything, so great job. He's going to do great in the race. Then we have Andrea Cantona and then Batek. Both of them have not pitted, so Batek is going to be a little underdog here. Do you know that?
Well, he's in a strong car, as you can see from Dave up on one pole. So
absolutely,
he's
seconds here.
He's in a strong position, in a strong car, so I can see him making places in today's race.
100%. That's it. I think we're ready to go now. It's down into. I'll stop my drone there. Drone, stop moving. Drone doesn't want to move. I'm just going to do that for a minute because I'm going to go to the full screen to get rid of my ugly face and let's just focus on the racing. So any minute now, cars are going to drop and the engines are starting to fire up. Chris, this is going to be a very good race. 15 cars around a very wet COTA. I'm looking forward to this one.
Counting down now, getting your ignitions on, getting your car ready.
Absolutely. So we're going to stay on with the race leader for the start. I'm going to go back to TV1 and let's enjoy this. So everybody, whether you're watching on Chris's stream, you're very welcome along, or watching on my own, definitely go give Chris a follow as well. CSR
Community Sin Racing, yeah. Chris CSR, come say hello, come give us a follow. Always been appreciated.
Oliver just said, hey, I'm almost sober.
He's
typing and driving.
He can nearly walk in a straight line, that's what matters.
Nearly. So, Chris, we're about to get going. This is going to be it. The minute we get to that line.
The T1 here is always interesting. There's multiple lines you can take into it. I wonder who's going to maybe look at an alternative line to see if they can make some positions up.
Absolutely, and I see they're all kind of trying to nearly swerve away from each other just to not get that spray up. And we are off. Oh, there we go. Good man, Chris. So it looks like that Dave Hill has got a great start, but he's going to have to be careful of these guys going up the inside, but they're being smart.
Oh.
There was a tiny tap behind there with the Macas, but they're all through. So at that start, so Hill is through very safely, as is FPO and Polyami. Holloway is after dropping it somewhere. I'm going to go into a replay there to see what happened as they're still going around. I'll go on to Helicam for that. So Oliver on the outside. Oliver doesn't see him. There's a slight little tap. But then it's when he hits the paint. When he hits that paint, Chris, that's it. He drops it.
Yeah, and it's, like I say, as soon as you get on the paint, as soon as you get on the curbing, there's just no bringing it back, unfortunately.
Absolutely not. We're going to jump on with Chico. He's the closest battle going on. Although he's being overtook by the looks of it here by Cantona. Or Cantia, whatever his name is at the minute. Oh! I think one thing, that Porsche is being very aggressive on the opening lap.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure what's happened there. Don't know if there's contact on the exit.
Replay there. I'm doing a replay here now, so we're on with Cantonia. I think he just clipped the inside. He was going too aggressive on the brakes. Yeah, that wasn't really a time for a move on an opening lap. But luckily enough, the Ferrari there, that was Britt. He didn't lose too much time, but that will be obviously looked after the race as well with the live student session that we do. But jumping on, Smith and Anderson are fighting away side by side.
We've got some experienced drivers here with Dudley just behind as well. He'll be trying not to get involved, but trying to pick up the pieces if anything happens now.
So that was great driving by Bo, Anderson and Gary, but he's the wily old fox. He's just waiting, he's just putting the pressure on.
He is. Gary's a great driver, and he can be very aggressive, but in a good way. Do you know what I mean? Gary will want to push through. You're talking about mindset, so I reckon John will be sat there just behind thinking, look, I don't want to get involved in this, but what I want to be close enough to pick up anything in case anyone loses control, in case there's a mistake. I'm going to let these two battle, and I'm just going to sit here to see what happens.
Absolutely, and Cantonier in the Porsche is catching up with him. So Cantonier has quite a bit of pace in that Porsche, which I'm shocked at around the wet COTA, but obviously we know how good that thing is out of a corner with traction and acceleration.
Oh, fantastic on the brakes, fantastic on rotation, and fantastic on acceleration. I mean, if he plays it right, he could really make that car work.
100%. But as that's going on, Holloway has got by Baz on track there, so great driving by Mr. Aaron there. That's a great job from him. A good recovery as well after the start. But we're going to have to jump back on with Cantonier here, who's all over the back of Dudley.
He's looking, he's just buying his time, see if he can make Dudley make that mistake. You know, it's very tough to drive around there, you can really feel that pressure. So if he can keep applying that, he might make Dudley, you know, just get out a bit wrong or overshoot the entry on the corner. Just as we say it.
Beautifully done though. That's much better going into that corner. He could see that he had the room and then goes for the inside.
Yeah, he's just put John under pressure, hasn't he? And John's outbroke himself, and like saying that is a perfect example of a great overtake.
Absolutely, and there's so many great places to do this here. Put the pressure on. You've got the two long straights with the hairpins. You've got it from turn one into this corner here, the hairpin beforehand. But also, if you play it safe, going through the next sector into sector 3, you can make them run wide through the long right-hand turn when you're setting yourself up for the last corner. Then.
Yes, yeah. Like I said, well, I suppose the good thing about this track is that there's certain corners that there's alternative lines.
Yeah.
So you can really sort of weigh up an overtake over a selection of corners to then make the move.
And just jumping on with Batek, there was a bit of a moment there, but Steve Glennon's got by him there. I think he just dropped it a little bit, but Steve has got by him. But he's back and recovered and going again, so just jumped on with that really quick. So we'll jump back on, I think, with the Smith battle with Anderson, because they're queuing up behind, about 2 seconds covering about 4 of them. Although Anderson's after getting himself a little bit of space, and see the way he's going straight to the left to cut any bit of toe.
I wonder if he's struggling with tyre pressures, if he's trying to get a bit of the wet track.
I honestly think it's just to cut any toe for Gary. But Gary now is going to be under pressure. I tell you one thing, in the early stages, Cantonier and that Porsche is rapid.
He's making some good positions here, isn't he?
He's all over the back of the McLaren.
Just got to be careful here. You can see him really cutting that track fine.
Oh, not the place to go on the inside. See, that's the thing. In the wet, it kind of gives you that false sense of security when the car understeers before it grips, and then it cuts back across once it starts gripping. You need to be patient of where you do your moves. You need to understand what's happening with the car ahead, whether Gary's intentionally going wide, whether it's just a bit of understeer. You always need to kind of have those variables in there if you're going to try and make a move stick.
Oh, he's flashing his lights then, just to try and see if he can distract him a little bit. He's trying to get the undercut here now. Look, it worked, didn't he?
Yeah, that acceleration out of the corner for that Porsche is just ridiculous.
So he's done 2 great moves there, where he's applied enough pressure that the car in front of him made the mistake under braking.
Yeah. So for him, he's looking next up, Oliver.
I think Oliver is in enough space now to just worry about his race.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, for right now, if I was Oliver, I wouldn't be worrying about the car behind me.
No, for him at the minute, although Dudley now is attacking Smith as well. Look at this. That's down with Dudley and Smith. These two lads have raced together for a long time now. Know each other very well.
Yeah, like the back of their hand.
The minute Gary's just doing enough. So Batek's got back by Glennon down further. Stacey's at the back. Oh, Baz is after having a spin and he's hit the barrier. Let's go back 15 seconds to have a look at this one. Helicam, we go on. It's showing a different livery for him now, but.
Yeah, too much on power too early by the looks of it.
These things happen, but he's back going, which is the main thing. I'm going to jump on McCantonay because he's half a second off Oliver Anderson now. He is making ground like there's no tomorrow. And don't forget, Chris, as well, this guy is up 9 positions at the minute. He started second last.
Yeah, we're just looking at the times he's laid down as well. I mean, Davey out front is going quick, but it looks like Cantonay is the second quickest person on track as we speak.
I'm wondering if you give Cantonay a bit of open room, will he start lapping faster than Dave?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one, and it'd be nice to find out though.
I think it's not going to be too long. I don't think Oliver's going to be able to really defend. But look at the pace difference. He's 2 seconds a lap, or a second and a half a lap nearly quicker at this present moment. He's going to do it again.
Maybe he's galling a beer before he's got on, helps him keep calm. Oh, he's gone down the inside. This is where we're talking about the 2 different racing lines here.
That's great. Oliver anticipated it as well.
Looks like Cantonea really likes that inside line, and what he's doing, he's trusting the Porsche to rotate and lay that power down. Because remember, because the engine's over the rear, he can really get that power down even in the wet. And I think, by the looks of it, that's what he's relying on there. He's taking that tight inside line, getting the car rotate, and knowing he can accelerate out the corner.
100%, and that's because I drove the Porsche, I know exactly what he's doing and how you can drive that car. You can really depend on the traction out of the corners. You can take a much tighter line. It does rotate, and it doesn't snap out too much there. I find it actually snaps out in the longer corners as your tyres overheat. So for him at the minute, as he gets a little snap there on the braking, he is absolutely driving that car perfectly in these conditions. Perfectly. Yeah,
he's doing a fantastic job in that car, and you can see him making more precisions yet. But like I said, it's a long race yet, and I wonder how that Porsche will cope in the longer time but we know wets do last a bit longer. I'm just wondering how it's going to cope as the tyre wear starts kicking in.
It should be okay for a full race. I was easily able to make the Porsche in the wet keep its tyres. And I'm a person with no talent. Batex after dropping it. No, I'm just going to go back 15 seconds to see that was the yellow flag. There's huge damage in the front of his car.
Yeah. And over the curb there, he's gone again. It looks like he's really struggling there.
He definitely needs to win.
He needs to get into pit, possibly even change tyres. Simply being, if he can get some new tyres on there, he may find he can just bring them back to him.
100%. Cantonay is already over the back of Polyami, but I tell you one thing, Anderson's after taking that little tow along, he's sitting right there, but you also have Gary and John sitting in the background, so the top 6, there's a battle from P2 the whole way back. Wow. So these guys are very close. So just while we're actually on this here, what I want to do is just go back. We're going to give all the drivers from the very back up, although we can't really at the minute because Cantonay is so close. He loves this corner for overtaking.
Yeah, is he going to do it again? Is he going to try and take that inside look? He's on the brake in there again, once again.
That's beautiful. The Aston's going for the cutback.
I think, well, as we've seen before and as we discovered when I've driven the Aston in the wet, it's not the best in the braking in the wet. So
I will disagree with you, because look at this now, coming into the corner, he has the power, the Aston.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to defend that, and it's a move I used several times in my race when I actually did win, but
yeah,
he's been too careful.
Again, the braking with the Aston, I think he's just been careful there.
I think he was over careful, and that's now after putting Anderson right in the back of him. Is he struggling with the front end? It looks like he's just not getting the turn in where he wants to, and then he's having to carry the brakes a lot longer.
For me, I find it's just the Aston. You got to be so careful with it in the wet. It just doesn't want to stop.
It's not that bad. I've not had the experience that you seem to be having with, or you had with the car.
Yeah.
Gary's dropped it. Go back 15 seconds, helicam. The curb. No, he made it through the curve. He's pulled over. Why is Gary pulled over? He's in the pits. What has happened, Gary?
Fortunately, I think I missed that one. As he...
He's in the pits. He's in the pool. I would assume he's going to pull out. Yeah, he's gone. What has happened, I wonder? Because it's definitely not like Gary just to walk away from a race that over one little bump.
No. Maybe he struggled quite a lot there. Maybe he's been struggling in the race, and maybe he's pulled over there.
Wow.
Maybe he thinks he might be a danger to undercut drivers.
Possibly, but I tell you, Holloway and Nathan Moore are having a great little battle here. Two front engine beasts versus each other. Who would you think is going to win the battle here?
My gut feeling would say Holloway, just because the other car's a Bentley.
Hating on the Bentley, Chris Tedder.
Don't want to, mate. Don't want to, but unfortunately, you can see there's an M4 in the lead, running extremely strongly, and we know the Bentley is maybe not the strongest car at the moment in ACC, so I would put my money on that M4.
Wow. Okay. I am going to give faith to Nathan Warren. I'm going to go against you for this one.
I do love that livery, though.
Oh, yeah. Both deliveries actually nice. I like what Aaron's done as well. He's a Williams fan, so I like to see that. Now look at this one, though. The battle of the Owlmen. Ellis and Mr. Baz are at it. Although Stephen Glennon ahead has dropped. I know he's grand. Oh, bit of damage on the front of this car. We've missed that one, unfortunately. But Baz and Stacey, who do you think is going to win this?
Oh, it's a tough one to shout, this one. I don't, for this particular one, I wouldn't want to say. I think this is going to be a back and full race.
It really is. This is going to be down to who's more patient. Both of them definitely are carrying a bit of damage.
It looks like Stacey's pulling away there slightly, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we know how good that Porsche is out of corners.
Just keep it clean. There we go. So don't go on power just yet. No, he's made it through. He's made it through. He's safe. He's safe.
What a dude.
Be interesting to see that Catania has actually set the fastest lap by 0.6 with a 14.1.
He's going for it. I'm just going to stay on with Baz just for this one. Although he stayed out of it. Let's jump on with Catania now. This guy has been flying all race long. And he does hold the fast lap of the race at 2:14.1. So in the free air, he's really shown he has the pace. The only thing is, do you reckon Dave is just kind of sitting along, not needing to worry, has a decent gap?
If I were Dave right now, I would be getting into a groove. And once I find that, once I have that groove, it doesn't need to be the fastest, but if I can sort of lay down them sort of average times, let's say, that's what I'll be doing.
Well, now he needs to worry because the fastest man on the track is on second and coming for him.
I still wouldn't be worrying too much though, Vaz Dave. I still would just be doing my thing. I would be waiting to see if Catania doesn't make any mistakes now. Is he gonna...
here again? Nathan Warren's gone for a much slower line. Holloway's gone for the wider line to get the drive, and he's in the toe. Do you reckon there's enough guts? Because that Bentley's fast in a straight line. Do you reckon the Beamer has enough?
No. No, you can see the Bentley's not even gone defensive there.
Yeah. What, two massively different lines. Although Aaron was trying to go for it, he was coming on the dummy.
No. Unless he's outbraked himself. He's outbraked himself. Oh no. I think he done the right thing there, Nath, by taking the line he did. He didn't need to go defensive. But unfortunately, it looks like he's just outbroke himself.
I think when he's seeing the Beamer going on the inside, that makes you worry, right, I need to leave a bit of space. And it was just enough for him to, I think, to get through there. That's what.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Oh, Batek's after having a mare. Let's go back 15 seconds and have a look what's happened there. So he already had the damage. Oh, he's hit the paint.
Oh, he's had a tough race, hasn't he, today? But
he's saved it though.
Oh, yeah, he's kept it out of the wall this time.
Oh,
no. Don't move.
He's back anyway, which is good to see. So Anderson is starting to catch Polyamy. Baz is about the same away from Mr. Stacey Ellis. Batek is now down in 13th. Stephen Glenn is only leaving the pits. He must have had at least 2 odd minutes worth of damage. He's been in the pits 2 minutes and 11 seconds. So he must have had a huge incident, but fair play to him to keep it going. He was stopped for 1 minute and 36 seconds. Jumping back on with Oliver Anderson here as he's super close to Polyamy now. Polyamy is starting to struggle. He's definitely starting to struggle there,
Or is he
Chris.
going to get moved down the inside here now?
He absolutely is. I'm just going to jump on with Baz. Baz, after having a bit of a moment, I'm going to go back 30 seconds now in a second. So I'm going to jump on with Baz and go back 30 seconds just to see what happened. He was stopped for quite a while.
Oh, let's see what happens here then.
So, he just goes off the track onto the paint. And then the Lambo, clips the wall, damage. Rolling backwards. Then he pulls the car off the track. Nice little J-turn. And away he goes. Fair play. It was he done it in the safest way possible, I suppose, at that moment in time.
Yeah, no, and you can't ask for more than that, can you?
No.
Oh, Catania's done a 13.8 now. He really is on the move.
A second quicker than Hill last lap. As we say that though, Hill's done a 2:14.1. So Hill, I think, has got that wake-up call there now. And a 2:14.0 for Cantina. I'm just going to say Cantina. It's just easier. Wow.
Cantina.
What else do we say? But Oliver Anderson doing a great job there. And just it looks like Batek has finally given up on this one. It's been a tough race for him.
You've got John there as well. He's starting to find his pace with a 15.7 last time around. So he's actually quicker than the 3 cars in front of him last time around.
He wants them to start fighting big time, doesn't he?
Yep. Holloway's done a 15.9, so it looks like he's starting to find his feet as well. So you can see when the times now are just starting to drop slightly, where some of these seem to just be finding, you know, their pace and an understanding of the track. I mean, the front two are in a league their own, but you can see where the rest are just starting to pick up their pace as well.
100%. No, it's looking quite good. But I tell you one thing. 4.5 seconds. It's after dropping down nearly a second since I was last looking, though. It's starting to pull out a bit as well. Oh, Oliver Anderson much later on the brakes. Has to run wide, and that's definitely going to impede his exit.
So the issue he's going to have here is that Aston's so much quicker in the straight line.
Oh yeah, it's a beast.
So what's going to happen? He's going to start, hopefully, maybe, possibly, start getting a bit of slipstream and closing in. It's not always a given with the McLaren. But as soon as he pulls out of that, you don't go anywhere.
The problem with the McLaren, as we both know, when you start getting in the wake of another car, it's very sensitive with it.
Yeah, you do struggle getting in close sometimes with the McLaren. The aero wash in the front can be really strong.
Yeah. Oh! They're getting very close there, but Oliver decided to back out of it there. The McLaren is super strong through this section as well. It's such a neutral feeling car, while the other cars might get a bit of understeer. And it's that good. Oliver was trying to go around the outside, but just had to keep getting out of it.
Looks like these are really at it as he made the move now. Got the inside line with the Aston on the curb there. He's not been able to lay the power down either. So, but the Aston straight line here, is he going to have to close in again? Bit of weaving there, but you never know.
Look at Dudley though. Justin's gone for it. He's going to run wide. Oliver needs to do the cutback.
Oh, this is a great bit of racing, and John is closing in as well.
Great driving by Oliver. The cutback absolutely works there.
He's got to be careful here now with the tight left. He's got to be really careful. Oh, he's done a great job there.
Wow.
Some brilliant driving here. Between the three of them as well. John keeping out of trouble. But you can see the times. I mean, John done a 15.3 last time against Anderson's 16.9.
Oh. Just as the Euro says, I put on dry tyres. Fuck my life. I'm assuming that's Mr. Batek.
Too wet for dry tyres.
Ooh, definitely. 100%. I wouldn't want to be doing that. But Oliver here, he was very lucky through the S's there not to die. And Dudley is just sitting back waiting, because honestly, I think how hard these guys are fighting with each other, there could be a tiny little tap and just enough for to open the doors for Dudley.
Yeah, I'm saying John's way here. He'll try and not get too involved. He knows he's got the pace, but he also knows he's got plenty of time. He doesn't want to get into any contact or any trouble. John will be weighing up these two, feeling confident that he can work his way past.
And just while they're fighting, we're going to jump back to Holloway really quickly. So he's as close, fighting with Britt now for 8th position.
He's running a great race. An absolutely brilliant race.
So there's actually a little train of three because Chico's just ahead of them as well. So there's two nice little groups forming here. Cantona, as we call him, is now nearly under 4 seconds. So he's getting closer each lap. He ran 0.6 of a second faster, basically just over 0.6 faster than David. So the fight is really on for David.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, what Dave needs to be doing here is not panicking. He's still got 4. Well, he's just gone back up there to 4.4. Keep doing what you're doing. You know, make the other car do the work to close down to you, because that's going to be the way that the following car's more likely going to make a mistake.
Yeah. 100%. But this is looking like the Ferrari could be under pressure into this corner here, because Holloway, he's going for it. He's definitely going for it.
He's trying to get cut back, and he's trying to get back underneath him. Britt, is he going to get the power down though?
I don't think this time he's going to have to sit behind and be safe.
Yeah,
that was a great move by Aaron.
Fantastic move, and then once you get through this part, it's quite hard to go too wide here. So Britt now just needs to follow him and try and stick close.
You would want it, even in the dry, it's not a corner where you want to be side by side. It's so sketchy. I remember in my race we had a back marker and we had them going side by side, and it was the scariest thing ever.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that through your section. This is where COTA's so hard as well. Like, for such a big track, some of the sections, like the whole Sector 1 really, it's near impossible to overtake.
Oh, it's nearly single file, yeah. We're going to jump on though with Dudley.
Britt just made a late move. Holloway straight over the curb. No.
He's got it done, but we're going to go with Dudley real quick because he's right side by side with Anderson going into the braking zone ahead. And this is the move Dudley's been sitting waiting on. Can he make it stick though?
Ooh, that's got close to the rear. See, John's going to be relying on that acceleration of that Audi now. He needs to get that car rotated, straightened up, so he can lay the power down. And if he can do that, he will make this move stick.
The nice thing about being the lead car there, you can dictate how the car behind takes that corner as well.
Yeah. I mean, what John's done well there, he's, to a certain extent, he's been sat on the apex.
Yeah.
And what he's doing there is making Addison lift. Or just back out slightly, and he's just cutting his momentum to get the run on him.
And it's worked out beautifully there. That's just what you call the smart driving when you're defending. That's a proper defending move. It's a thinking move on the go. We're going to cut back, I think, to Aaron though, because Aaron's back fighting with Britt again. These two are having a nice little ding dong. And as I say, that Aaron got a bit sideways, but snapped it back up.
And you can see Chico there. Oh, Chico nearly ran into the pit wall.
Oh, let's go back on 15 seconds to have a look at that. Because Britt as well, something happened with Britt. I think Britt dropped it on the last corner and goes into the pits.
There's Chico.
No, he
in
didn't.
The pit. No, Chico's in the pit. Chico nearly hit the wall, but he managed to avoid it.
That must have been the car I seen.
Yeah, so Chico's now in the pit.
Wow. Yeah, I think Chico is sitting there. Is he going to come back out? Hopefully he does. That's frustrating. Once you go onto the painted lines here, it's just impossible.
I think what we need to be looking here, though, if you go and look at the front runners now, Catania, yeah, he's now under 2 seconds. He's really closing in.
And last lap, 13.8 versus 14.9. 1.1 seconds pretty much clear. Oh, wow.
See, I think what I'd be doing now, I'd be staying out of ours in the lead. And as soon as he gets too close to me, if I feel like I can't hold him too much, I'd go and pit.
100%.
I mean, they've got a nice gap to third place here. They've got a 10-second gap further back. So, if Davey, it depends how Davey feels. There's two ways of looking at it. Either as soon as he gets into your slipstream, go and pit so you're not dragging him along. Or if you're confident in your defending ability, you can hold him up, then you want to stay out as late as possible.
Yeah. Down to 1.1 seconds. This is developing much faster than I thought. I really thought this would have been kind of something for the last 10 minutes of the race that they would have probably caught up together.
Yeah, the pace has been unbelievable since he's got 3.
And consistent.
Here he is now. I think we're going to see something this lap between these two. And that is another fastest lap at a 13.4. That was nearly, 2.2 seconds.
Unbelievable. And he's still pulling in. Like, that's the one thing with the Porsche. It's not so aero dependent that I can go so close. The mechanical grip, the chassis is obviously sorted in that car and doesn't depend like the way the Mackie does with aero.
No, I mean, where Dave should hold strong is the M4 strong point is heavy braking. And then obviously it's got good straight line speed as well. So what Dave wants to be doing is getting that braking done, getting it set on the apex, and then rely on its straight line speed coming out.
Yeah. But you've got the acceleration of the Porsche, so it's
well, that's where he wants.
It's an even match. Other than the top end, the Beamer will absolutely drive all day past the Porsche.
Yeah, well, that's where he needs to be sitting on the apex because he needs to be cutting up. He needs to be cutting off his momentum.
Well, you ran a bit too wide there. Didn't get the traction you wanted and drive out of the corner.
No.
There you go, the top end in that car.
So what Dave needs to be doing now is just getting it on the apex and making that Porsche do the work around him.
Although look at him, he's trying to cool his tyres down. He's getting the typical Porsche problems. He's gone for the inside. And these boys trust each other. Dave's trying to run them wide.
Door to door there. There's nothing wrong with that. This is just great driving.
Dave gets it sideways.
He's going to get underneath him again now.
Oh, what a move.
That's brilliant driving from these two drivers and a great bit of defending from Dave.
That was unbelievable there. I'm more interested to see what happens now.
It's hard to come away from this at the moment. When you've got the front two fighting like this, you just need to keep on it and see how it's going to end up.
100%, but Dave's doing exactly what he needs to do. He can rely on that top end again. What he needs to do is close maybe that inside line off, or maybe go wide and do the cutback.
Yeah, for me, he needs to be closing that inside. Get that car onto the apex. Stop the Porsche. Getting down. Like he likes that move, doesn't he? Down the inside there.
Yeah. Well, he needs to not overly trust in that, because going against the faster driver, they will be a bit more aggressive in how they defend as well. So he's going to have to cut that out with the more experienced drivers. They'll get afraid seeing the car going the inside and will kind of leave it a bit more space. But you're going against a fast driver that's seasoned, they're not going to fall for that trick.
No, and I think he's got to take into account as well, the BMWs will be the best car he's come up against under brakes. So where before I feel like he's had quite a big advantage in the braking areas to make that move happen. Against the M4, he's not having that same advantage.
Oh my god, this is super close. He's definitely going to go for here. I'm sure Dave is going to know.
So Dave's
out,
yeah. And that's what we're talking about, getting it on that apex.
Beautiful stuff. This is what we love to see.
And do you know what? Even with all this going on, they're still setting mega quick times.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Now, it's slower than what they have been doing, but still faster than a lot of the guys out there. But they have dropped down 2:16.3 and 2:15.8.
Well, yeah, 15.8 last lap around, and you think Esperoto done a 16.2, Palomi's done a 17 flat. I mean, John done a 15.8, Anderson 15.5. So they're still some of the quickest cars on track, even though they're fighting like they're doing.
And Anderson is fighting with Dudley, and Dudley's fighting with Palemi, and they're less than a second, and we can't move away.
No, and you got Holloway, ain't you? 0.3 behind as well. There's some close battles, but why this is so close at the front here? We just need to keep on it.
I need to build a second streaming PC and capture card the life out of it. I have two views at the one time.
Oh, he's gone for it, but I think he's going to overshoot it. I think he's going to overshoot that.
Oh, yes. Drag race. Dave has the optimal line, but he will have the power as well.
You see now, look, Dave just needs to make sure now he doesn't do the dive up the inside.
Oh, he hit the back of Dave.
Oh. Not too happy there, Dave. He won't be too happy there at all. I mean, ultimately the move has been made because he's punted him, and that's what's pushed Dave further on.
Definitely not ideal. I think Dave will want to come in this lap, I think, then get his head down and then come back out.
Yeah. I think he'll be a little bit frustrated by that. That move hasn't happened due to his mistake. So what he needs to do now is just go and sit in the pit, reset, and go again.
And the good thing is he doesn't need to report on any of that because the software picks it all up and it will be reviewed fairly after the race as well.
Which is great because I think all drivers then feel like there's been some form of justification done for anything like that.
But yeah, it's clear transparency for everybody.
And it's not biased, is it? Because everything gets reported on and there's a reason behind every single report. So everyone can see that you're giving an answer to a certain incident.
Yeah. Sure, look, I think this one here, like Dave's not really dropping off massively when you look at it either. So Dave, I'd say, realistically, could we want them to ideally stay within about 5 seconds or so in case there is any kind of penalties? Yeah,
I think he could do that. And I think Dave will still be knowing that. If you'd be thinking smart now, I'll be looking at thinking, right, all I need to do now is stick with him.
Yeah.
I'm just going to jump over to Anderson. Oh, if you jump onto Anderson and to Dudley and go back 15 seconds.
Yeah, going back now. Pedicam, so Dudley ahead of Polyamy, Anderson there. Polyamy goes slow. Anderson just has nowhere to go on the braking. Oh, and Dudley's just super unlucky.
That is so frustrating.
What that was is because Polyamy was parking himself on the inside. Dudley had nowhere to turn in. He had to wait longer. And then, of course, Anderson was still a little bit too hot. And unfortunately, with Dudley there, that was just...
But what you can see here, though, as we've gone back onto it, is that Anderson has given that position back there.
Well, Anderson knows exactly... He has racing etiquette. You know, if he does something, he'll hold his hand up to it as well.
Yeah. But that's great to see that sportsmanship between drivers.
Yeah. Well, I think Dudley doesn't need to worry. I think he has the pace to catch back up. Although Polyamy's gone to pits, as is Anderson now. So essentially Dudley now is up into P4. He is about 15 seconds off FSPOto.
Yeah, there's 4 cars in the pit as well by the looks of it.
Yeah, so we have Stacey, Holloway, Anderson, Polyamy. So it'll be interesting to see, can Anderson jump Polyamy? It depends if he's much damaged, if he fixes the damage. Knowing Oliver, that damage will be turned off, he'll drive with it.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if John can get his head down now. I think he had the pace, so now he's in free air. I'll be interested to see what he does with it.
Yeah. So we see Polyamy has come out about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds clear of Anderson there by the time he gets out of the pit line there. Although Anderson's back into the pits.
Oh, has he sped in the pit lane? Has he got an auto pit?
Well, he's still there, but he's in the pits.
I wonder if he sped in the pit if he hasn't got an auto pit limiter, and that's what he's done.
But there's no way no one can be disqualified from the race. It'll just be like a drive-through or that.
Be interesting to see what's happened there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Oliver definitely wouldn't quit anyway. It'll be interesting to see did something happen. He's still in the pits. Did he forget the fuel or something, I wonder?
Well, he's not that. It's the way he's been sent back to the pit though.
Yeah. Interesting. We'll have to have a look at that later on. That's very interesting.
Gary's saying here that move on the leader there, the position should have been handed back.
Oh no, it definitely should have been handed back, Gary. That's a given. Anyone who does a move like that gets it. Even with my tiny little tap with Dave the other day, I stopped and waited behind him to make sure he got ahead of me. Even though it was only the slightest of little taps at it was turn 2, wasn't it, in Valencia?
Yeah. I feel like, I'd be frustrated with Davey now. The leader's now 5.5 out in front. There'll be another bit of frustration here now for him.
Yeah. Well, I think it's something. I suppose that we'll discuss it in the stewarding afterwards, but it's definitely something that will be discussed with that there. I do see Oliver's actually in the comms chat. Oliver, what's happened to you, mate?
It seems like someone have taken out the pit boards, and I was looking for them coming into the pits. There were no boards, and all of a sudden I realized that this can't be right. There must be after the boards, and Yeah, when I exited the pit lane, I got a DSQ.
Something be DSQ turned on.
Well, I bet you that I've been speeding with above 100 kilometers above the pit speed limit.
Oh no.
So, hey ho. That's what you get
Well,
for
that's
not
annoying.
practicing pit entry, but I crap you not, there's no pit board right now down at the pit entry.
I remember that happened to me in a certain race in Watkins Glen, and a certain Chris Tedder, I think, took them out, and 3 times in a row I got tried through.
No, don't looking at me.
Is not racing this race.
Can't blame Chris. Although, Oliver, we're going to have a busy one in terms of shooting afterwards. There's one incident in particular, but we'll go to it later on. Hopefully, would you just message Chico to make sure he's still on for shooting tonight?
Yeah, of course, but there have been many messy stuff going out on track at this time around with early braking, late braking. We had
People getting caught out.
One stuff like that happened, but then I obviously murdered Dudley at an unfortunate point.
Well, the story shows that it wasn't intentional. Obviously, you were doing your best to try and get out of it. But,
yeah, I even braked early for that corner, but they just braked much earlier than me, even though I would have expected Dudley to brake later to try the outside, but maybe he was opting for the switchback.
what it was is that he didn't have the option, because I think he was trying to switch back, but because the Aston kind of planted itself where it did for so long, he'd know where to turn. That was the issue.
Yeah.
When you look at it. But we look at it afterwards anyway. It is definitely picked up.
That's racing in races like this. That was a lot of good racing with the Aston for me as well. I think that was great.
Yeah.
Fun. And yeah, I hope Dudley's not too mad after the race at me for that.
Dudley's not the kind of dude to let emotions get to him. Like, he's sitting now in 4th place, and I'm sure he's going to be focused on trying to get up into 3rd position now. Now, obviously, the top 5 are still yet to pit, so Britt's doing a great job there in P5. Stacey Ellis now P9, Baz P10, and Glennon is still out there in P11. So Glennon's going to get good points. So Dave Hill, though, at the minute is 6.6 seconds off Cantonilla, but Cantonilla, obviously, with that overtake, will be looked at after the race. But I still think there's a lot to happen in this race in the next 20 minutes, guys.
For sure, this race is not over yet for anyone. We still have Dudley with a chance of catching up to the Aston, who I think have just pitted.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's some great racing going on out there on track still. I obviously haven't been following it too well from on board the car, except for what I've been able to see, but there have been some immense battles around the track.
I thought you would have been singing Dick in a Box.
Oh yeah, I was, but you know how it goes. They have to come out at some point.
That's quite true too.
Can't stay in forever, unfortunately.
Absolutely not. And Chris, what would you do here if you were Dave? Would you just jump into the pits and get it done?
Yeah, I think so now. I think the fight there right now for him is done. Go and get pitted, go and reset, and let's go again.
Yeah. It's not going to make things easier. I'm sure he's going to be quite frustrated, but Dave can get his head back down and into it. And look, anything can happen. Yeah, all it takes is one spin.
Exactly.
Anything.
Exactly. Yeah, it's what you need to be doing now is just worrying about your own race.
100%. 100%. It's a shame now that there is a few that have obviously got out, and Oliver somehow gets himself disqualified, doing about 500 mile an hour into the pits.
Yeah.
Were you drinking some moonshine by any chance?
There's only one Oliver. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
I have been drinking some cold wine this evening, but I crap you not, I've been looking on the replay. There are no hit entry sites there, but yeah, rookie mistake not practicing it before the race.
Yeah, 100%. Just as well. Well, I don't. Can we blame Chris Tedder for it because he has been sitting in the comms box. So
I
technically, could he pick them out? He might have run out the comms box.
It's definitely Chris Tedder who went out on track and just decided to take them out. From the pit box, he ordered someone to just walk out and pick them up and throw them back onto the track somewhere where they're not supposed to be.
You're driving with my spirit, weren't you? That's what you're saying.
Yes. Even though that you're not in the race, you're with spirit.
I don't know if I'd be afraid of that spirit or not now. But lads, back onto the race at the minute. It has kind of spread out a bit until the top 5 or yeah, top 5 to get into the pits. It's kind of spread out until then. Once they pit, it's going to mix back up again. And it's going to be interesting to see then where the likes of Ricky and Aaron come in against the likes of Britt. And of course then with John Dudley with Polly Amy, is Dudley going to, in the free air, get enough time to pull ahead of Polly Amy or not?
Where's Polly Amy? What's Polly Amy there? 16.4. So yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I think John just needs to get his head down. I'd be interested if he goes and pits now and tries his luck. There wasn't much between them now. So what John might be thinking is that if he gets his laps in now, he might be able to get the undercut.
I think that Dudley will go as deep as he possibly can to take advantage of the tires not coming down in the pit box. Not going through and keeping the pace to a long overcut and see if he can actually make the pass on That would definitely be my choice. I even tried that before getting
And then what happened to?
I overshot the pit entry and had to turn back out on track to avoid the wall.
Fucking We're on the board here now, boys, with SBO just for a minute as well. So at the minute, let's give everyone a bit of airtime. Although Britt Batsby last lap, I think it's second fast lap on track. Cantano is still lapping into 2:14.0, so he's absolutely pulling away now out front.
Yeah, got his head down, hasn't he?
That Porsche just looks so planted when you drive behind it. It's not like it's. I think I was a little bit quicker in the fast corners while being behind him, but the traction he gets out of the corners where he can put the power down, the braking of that car, it just looks like a beast here in these conditions. I wouldn't take it in the dry, no chance I would ever do that car there, but in the wet it seems to be the car to have.
I'm really shocked because I remember struggling in the Porsche in the dry. Maybe in the wet he just has to set up A1. You did see him on the straights though. He was pulling to the left to cool down those tyres, so he probably is still having a little bit of overheating, but not enough that it's really affecting him that bad.
What did you find like with on Monday? It was a Porsche one at Valencia.
Yeah, the rain. It seems to be quite good.
So
but then again, when you've talent,
what's that?
Something none of us three have. That's
No,
why we're
that's the one. No wonder I never heard of it.
and that's what he is talking about. I am a racing god.
Yeah, of course you are. Of course you are.
When I'm playing online lobbies.
There's two parts to that statement, and both of them I struggled to put against you.
Racing god of crashes, maybe.
It's really interesting to see. I mean, Britt's closing in. Where's Britt now?
So we're down into the last 15 minutes of the race as well, lads.
So Britt is looks like Britt might be closing in on John in front of him.
That's actually quite interesting.
He's only 2.8 seconds behind.
As Cantonade, the race leader, is in the pits. I reckon Dave's just going to pull this out to the last 5 minutes before he pits.
So out comes the leader from the pits now.
It's going to be close with Dudley, although he's surely going to get ahead, is he? Oh, it's going to be very close with Dudley. So what he needs now is for Dudley and for Baptiste to defend like champions to slow him up.
Yeah. I'm wondering John's carrying a bit of that rear damage now. It's affecting because Britt really seems to be closing in on him.
Be small mistakes creeping in, feeling a bit of the pressure, and well, the Audi is known for being a bit loose. I probably wouldn't like to try the car in these conditions.
He's doing a good job, and Britt's in the pits, by the way, boys. So Britt's decided to pit.
Oh, he's maybe trying the undercut then. Maybe his tires are starting to overheat a bit and will attempt to cool them down by running slowly through the pits.
So it's going to be bad news for John Dudley because Polly Amy is very well clear of Britt now. So Polly Amy obviously has been lapping fast. I think John is at the stage now where he is suffering a bit maybe with aero.
It's that mustache on the front, mate.
It's weighing it down, that and the lip injections.
Do you know what I mean? The air just doesn't go through the mustache quite good enough.
John loves an old lip injection. Top brown Porsche isn't easy in the way. I'm not messing Todd. It seems it must be because he's absolutely flying out there, and as Chris stated in Amigos on Monday night, it was a Porsche that won and won quite comfortably. So it must be very, very good in the wet. Once you know how to drive it.
Which only a handful of people can do.
Yeah. Although I suffered it though for a full season. Not suffered it because I enjoyed it. You know something? Listening to that engine roar, lads. It's worth it. It's worth being slow.
My first car was the Porsche in ACC. I stopped with it for a good while.
Wow.
Yeah, I did not the oldest, but the second oldest Porsche as well for quite a bit of time.
Yeah, was it?
Truly an interesting car to drive.
It was the 911-2, whatever it is. That was the one when I come in. Everyone's saying don't take the Porsche, don't take the Porsche, and it's the one I just seem to gel with. John's into the pit.
He is indeed. That's not good news for Hill though.
And he hit the pit speed limit and didn't go 101 kilometers per hour in the pit lane. Good for him. Good for him.
Jesus.
See there, John's times. Last lap 2:20. Best lap 2:15.
Well, the last lap he will have been crossing the line into the pit lane. Having a bit of blowdown that way around.
I don't know, looks like a lot of them are dropping off though. If you look at the times being set on some of them, not all of them.
I don't have that kind of glorious information.
I'm just sat on board with John now to see where he comes out.
Oh, Stacey's after having a moment. Let's go back 15 seconds to look.
Yeah.
John's
Did he run out of fuel?
It looks like it. Looks like it. That's definitely going way too slow for a normal race
Let's
pace.
go on. Yeah, he's no fuel.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, he's had to fall over. That's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Oh, he's just pulled over. He needs to get himself back into the pits and even fuel up and keep going. There's points in it. He just needs to keep that car going, get himself into the pits, fuel up, get back out there. Yeah, you'll be a lap down, but you're going to get the points. So Stacey is back in the pits. He just needs to fuel, get out, and be done with it.
So John's come out of the pits. He's got Britt still straight behind him.
Oh, much closer than what I was, though.
That could be a spicy bet.
This could be a spicy tomato.
Let's go to the interior cam there. Just, you know, you're getting all the rain, all the aero wash.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's gone for the move.
These conditions.
It's gone to heli cam. Is John going to get the undercut?
He even got his stuff quite nicely.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great bit of defending.
That's the thing about that corner. If you can see another guy going for the move, you just keep it wide and take the tighter line to get the acceleration.
That was a beautiful move. I'm jumping onto the other TV2 camera just to have a look at the different views coming into the last 10 minutes now. But John Dudley, great switchback. And John, you've really impressed the man who hit the rear of you there. Oliver's got a little bit hot for you.
Oh, definitely.
Let's be out was coming out of the pits.
I just had to touch that rear, you know.
Are you sure it wasn't the mustache?
Oh, well, I was going for the mustache, but it was too far out of my reach, so I just took the rear.
Poor Stacey's after refusing. He's after refueling 35 litres. Car says I've 21 litres in fuel. If that's ACC Drive, I think there's an issue with their fueling at the minute they're looking into. Because you remember yesterday it was telling me I had 5 hours or 500 hours worth of fuel in.
Oh, that was close.
How much fuel did you say Stacey had?
It said 21 litres in it, but it was 0, so he's after putting 35 in, which is way too much. 20 litres would have easily got him home.
Not even that, yeah. So 20 litres would have easily covered him. This looks like it's going to be a close battle to the end now, doesn't it? This is the battle of the race as we stand.
Oh, yeah. We're going with Dudley's point of view.
But look at the gap Polymini have down to these guys.
15 seconds.
I'm interested to see,
Out there.
because Catania, he's down in second and he's quite a way behind now. He's 27 seconds. Has he made a mistake?
No, but Hill still has to pit.
Is that what it is? Ah, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Hill hasn't pitted yet. So honestly, Hill's definitely in trouble anyway. He should come out ahead of
He's
SP
coming
Auto
into
though.
the pits now. Hill's in the pits.
I'm jumping on with the race leader and just as well the essential race leader is coming around the third sector at the minute.
I was seeing that he's coming into the pits then.
Yes.
Just gone to Helicam here, see if I can capture the exit of the start-finish straight against the against
Wait a
Hill.
second, are you behind on the stream?
So the leader's right onto the straight now.
Yeah, I mean with Hill coming out.
Ah, okay. So Hill is only getting out there now, and Cantonese is going by. So Cantonese is still going to be at least 10 seconds ahead, I'd say,
Yeah,
by the time Hill gets out and up to speed.
yeah, he's not even exited the pit yet, has he?
Oh, Cantonese got the first corner wrong, but not enough to be worrying. Yeah, he's going to be at least 10, 12 seconds clear. So Hill is finally out,
Yeah.
and away he goes.
Let's get back. Oh, it looks like Brit's made the move.
The overtake.
Let's see if I can go back 30 seconds here, see what happens. Ah, yeah, John. Oh, no.
Too far.
But now it's the case for John if he can stay with him and try and regain the position.
Brit's just made a really good move around the outside by the looks of it. Great move and a great overtake.
Nice one. We're staying on with Dudley here though. Dudley is trying to cool down the tyres though. Dudley is starting to struggle out there with 7 minutes to go plus a lap. The audio under downshifts is beautiful, isn't it?
It's glorious.
Stacey just puts in plenty of fuel, left no reason to stop the car now. Stacey, why aren't you driving? Get the car out to finish up and get your points. If you stay in the pits, you don't get points, bud. I still strong points for P11.
That Audi looks a bit loose on the rear there.
Yeah, he's definitely struggling with tyres. He was pulling onto the wet line on the main straight instead of going for the toe. Oh, it's so nice under downshift, that car. Will he pull to the left again, do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. Maybe not. Why
Not
am I
as
even
much
saying
as-
stuff? Why am I even saying stuff?
Whatever Oliver says, the opposite happens.
He's not going to hit the rear of him coming into this corner.
Whack. But did you die?
No, I think these guys can keep it clean. None of them are known for making crazy moves or going for gaps that are not existing. Although everyone can miss their braking points, obviously, from time to time.
Happens.
Especially
Yeah,
these
it happens.
conditions.
The window is now closed.
You know, we haven't judged you too much for it.
Oh, we'll be judging a lot on that. If you miss your braking points live on stream, we'll call you an idiot. Or even worse.
We'd call you Chris Header.
Oi! Leave me out of it.
Okay.
And the official punishment for doing such a thing are that you have to text me your mom's number.
I can't be doing that again. Can't be doing that again.
No, you should be calling me daddy.
I'll tell you one thing though, before I do that, a 2:13.4 is the fastest lap by Cantonia, by the way.
Oh, look at this now. Dudley on the inside looks like Beastie went off. There was some battling coming into turn 1, and now it looks like Dudley's on the outside. He cannot keep that out there, but into this corner it's not too wide, this one. No, they're
Oh,
not
he's gonna
doing
get
it.
underneath. Oh my god!
Inside again.
Oh! He'll take a warning. He'll take a warning for that, undoubtedly.
Definitely.
That was, for me, a bit too much fighting there.
I think I did the same with one of the guys earlier in the race going side by side through
You
these
did.
corners.
Like seeing it live, yeah.
That is not fun. It's not something you want to do on purpose. But with less than 5 minutes to go, none of these guys want to back out of anything. Now it's about the position.
Really lost on braking there, yeah.
Just giving Brit that breathe, Ranny. Now it's gonna be hard to close that in, I reckon.
Dudley is taking that inside line.
Is it still going on?
It is
Yeah,
indeed.
great.
We are down into the last 3 minutes now, Chico.
Jesus.
Chico went off to have a nap.
Oh,
Chico,
What,
how
I didn't-
fast do you reckon you have to go in the pit lane to get disqualified?
I don't know.
I can tell you 101 kilometers will do it.
Oh, did it happen to you?
Then there was no pit balls, so I didn't realize that I was within the pit limits of point that just struck me. There are pit boxes now, I just shouldn't be braking.
Ah, nice.
Yes, wonderful.
Fucking beautiful. Oh, nearly fucking fell out of my chair.
Oh, you can't say stuff like that on the fucking stream.
For fuck's sake, lads.
What is stream? I don't know.
No, sorry, broadcast.
Yeah, sorry, we're professionals. This is a public.
Audiences.
This is a public broadcast.
See John here just trying to cool down his tyres again, can't you?
Yeah, I think John, unfortunately, is at a place where his tyres were already crying anyway. And then after that kind of stuff that happened in the S's, and then after that, he's just going to try and get that car home now.
Yeah.
What a race from the hometown hero, the American boy, Mr. Incest himself, running
I actually
around out there.
accidentally left the pitting for tires on and it put me on the ice, so I quit.
Fair.
Just jumped on board with Holloway. He's had another good race. He's setting some good times as well.
Yeah, I think Cantonado was in a league of his own today. Other than obviously the incident with him at turn 1, he was definitely in a league of his own.
I pushed for the fight as well.
Yeah. Well, we'll have a look. And that was-
But not nice.
No, I think that's one thing we, as stewards, we will look at as well is it's not just about pace, it's about being patient and where you do it. Bullying boy is not the way to do it. I only like to be bullied in one area.
Stacey's back on track, which is good to see.
Yeah, Stacey got back in because he can smell those points.
Yeah.
But we jump on with the race leader for the last lap, I think. He has been fast.
A car that no one can beat today.
Yeah.
Ethical performance this time around. Maybe next time he'll be fair and keep it a little bit closer and pick a bad setup. Only time will tell.
I think Gary done that and left.
Yeah, definitely what happened to Gary.
What actually happened, Gary? Because I just seen he just pulled in. Did he die before that we missed? Oh, the leader's after hitting. The leader's after hitting Baz there.
Oh. You got to be giving that up now. Go on.
Let's go
Let the
back
leader
15
through.
seconds.
Let the leader
I
through.
need to see what happened though. Was it a case of? Yeah, he went. That was a stupid move.
Silly. Got to be more patient there. You're winning the race.
How much is he leading by now?
17 seconds.
Yeah, I think that's a 30-second time penalty minimum. Minimum.
Stewards, you can't be saying that shit.
Maybe even disqualification and put back to lap 1.
Boxing retired the car. Box.
We have a problem with the engine. For the window wiper is going overspeed. Wipers going overspeed confirmed.
Now let me have a look. So guys, I don't think we're going to get any other overtakes today anyway, but yeah, Cantoni, other than his impatience with overtaking, has been rapid.
Yeah.
Of course, he does like these kind of conditions.
Yeah.
He's just chilling out there now, showing off. But can I just say, I actually held the fastest lap of the race for a few laps at the start of the race.
He's drifting it like a mad thing. He only has one issue. If he gets time penalties for 3 big incidents that he's had, this could go against him and he doesn't realise it. So less than 15 seconds ahead of Dave.
Yeah, because you know what? And if he does, it's his own doing. Oh, showing off there a little bit. Yeah.
Is he running out of fuel again?
I think he's waiting.
No, he didn't.
Oh, has he binned it before he's gone over the line?
No, the line is all
No, line's back there, innit? Yeah.
Yeah. So Hill now comes home in second position there. Espioto coming home in third. Polemy in fourth. Coming around.
What's that?
Fourth.
Fourth?
Third.
Fourth? I don't see any fourths on the track.
Here's some food. Then we've Baptiste, the American, after eating a few hot dogs in fifth.
He's had a very good race today, you know.
He really has. He's done very well.
We started getting paced right.
And then we're on with Dudley, who Oliver decided to take out and ruin his race.
I think John will be a little bit frustrated that he didn't manage to hold that position up front.
Look at Stacey Ellis absolutely going to town doing donuts.
Warren with Holloway right behind him over the line.
Oh wow, that's great.
Oh, it's gone. I thought he was aiming for him then. I'll see. Baz is over. Glennon's already over. Stacey's already over.
That is it, guys.
Great race.
Can you play the intro song again while we wait for people to come in for interviews?
Well, it's going to be playing when we do the next live stream in a few minutes.
Oh, wonderful.
So the guys will get to hear Dick in the Box again. Chris, as always, thank you so much for jumping in. I think we're going to kind of speed up the stream a little bit tonight because I know the guys are an hour ahead for doing the stewarding.
Yeah.
So Chris, as always, genuinely thank you so much. And anyone who's watching on Chris's channel or my own channel, you're more than welcome to join FFG. We do Formula 1, which was a bit of a wank last night with EA servers, but we still do it. And ACC. And we're going to be going live in 5 minutes, guys, for the live stewarding session for post-race, of course. So
can I just say, until then, go have a wank, guys. I'll see you later. Good night and sleep well.
Right. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks very much, guys. Have a great evening.
I just want to thank everyone who's stayed with us tonight and watched the commentary. Apologies for some of the language at the end there. There happened to be 4 of us in the commentary at the end. 2 of them were racers who dropped out of the race for one reason or another. So again, thanks very much. Commentary's a new venture for me, doing it every Wednesday with Horsebox streams. I decided instead of doing more leagues and more racing, we'll stick to the Monday night racing, do some more endurance events, but still be involved in a different community, in a different way, in a different form. So again, thank you for being here. I'm not sure where we're at next week just yet, but we will be back next Wednesday for more commentary. My aim is to be on Saturday or Sunday. I might do both yet. I'm not sure yet. I've got 2 different races. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream them yet. If not, I'm definitely back on Monday again for the Amigos League race, and obviously we're back here again next Wednesday. So yeah, no, if you like it, please like and subscribe, give us a follow, and we'll see you again. Thanks very much. Bye.